Every single day after you turn 60, your body loses 10 ounces of muscle protein. 10 ounces. That's nearly 2/3 of a pound. Gone. Vanished. Your body is literally eating itself from the inside out. And you don't even know it's happening. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and notice a crack in your living room wall. Small at first. You ignore it. The next week, the crack is wider. A month later, part of the ceiling sags. Would you wait until the entire house collapses before you do something about it? Of course not. You'd call someone immediately. You'd fix it before it's too late. But here's the thing. Your muscles are collapsing right now. Silently. Invisibly. And most people don't realize it until they can't get up from a chair without help. Until they can't open a jar. Until they fall and break a hip. And their entire life changes in an instant. Before we go further, let me know where you're watching from. Drop a comment below and ask any questions you might have. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our best health advice. I want to know if you're following along with this video. If you're finding this content helpful, type the number 1. Inch the comments. If not, type 0. Now, this condition has a name. It's called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. And it doesn't just make you weaker, it steals your independence. It increases your risk of falls by 300%. It makes every simple task feel like climbing a mountain. Here's what your doctor probably didn't tell you. Starting at age 30, you begin losing 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade. After 50, that rate doubles, and after 60, it accelerates even faster. By the time you're 70, you could have lost 40% of the muscle you had at 30. But here's the good news, and this is critical. There's a hidden mechanism inside your body right now. A biological pathway that can rebuild muscle, regenerate strength, reverse years of decline, and it can be activated with just 5 common foods that you probably already know about. If you leave this video right now, you'll never understand why you're getting weaker, even when you think you're eating well. But if you stay with me, I'm going to show you exactly how to wake up your body's muscle regeneration system, starting today. The question is simple. Are you ready to rebuild? Let me tell you about Dr. Richard Harris. He's a physician I know personally, internal medicine specialist in Boston, 62 years old, sharp mind. He's seen thousands of patients over 3 decades. But one case stopped him cold. Her name was Helen, 72 years old. Came in for a routine checkup. Dr. Harris ordered standard blood work and a body composition scan. Something he does with all his older patients. When the results came back, he thought there was a mistake. Helen's muscle mass index was comparable to a woman in her early 40s, not her early 70s. Her protein synthesis markers were elevated. Her inflammatory markers were low. Her muscle density was exceptional. Dr. Harris double-checked the patient name on the chart. Same person. He called the lab. Did you mix up these results? No mix-up. He ran the tests again the following week. Same results. This woman had the muscles of someone 30 years younger, but here's what puzzled him most. Helen didn't exercise. She didn't take any supplements. She wasn't on any special medications. She was just living her normal life in her apartment in Cambridge, taking care of her cat, cooking her meals. Dr. Harris sat down with Helen and asked her directly, "What do you eat every day?" Helen smiled. She wasn't trying to be mysterious. She simply said, "Just the same 5 foods, every single day. My mother taught me. I've eaten them my whole life." That was the moment. The aha moment. Dr. Harris felt it in his chest. That electrical spark when you stumble onto something real, something hidden in plain sight. He started taking notes. He asked Helen to describe everything in detail. What those 5 foods were, how she prepared them, when she ate them, And over the following months, he began researching, diving into nutritional biochemistry, reviewing studies on muscle protein synthesis in elderly populations. What he discovered changed everything he thought he knew about aging. And it all came back to one biological mechanism that almost everyone ignores: the muscle regeneration pathway. Dr. Harris found something remarkable in the scientific literature, something that had been buried under decades of focus on exercise and pharmaceuticals. It's called the muscle regeneration pathway, and it's hardwired into your biology. Think of your body like a factory. Every day, this factory produces thousands of proteins that build and repair your muscles, but to keep the assembly line running, you need the right raw materials, not just any materials. Specific amino acids, specific nutrients, specific compounds that flip the biological switches. When you're young, this factory runs smoothly. Even if you miss a meal or eat poorly for a few days, your body compensates. But after 60, the factory starts shutting down, not because it's broken, but because it's starving. It doesn't have the fuel it needs to keep producing. Here's the key. When you give your body the exact nutrients it needs, in the right amounts, at the right times, the factory roars back to life. Your cells start synthesizing muscle protein again. Your strength returns. Your energy returns. You start feeling like yourself again. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need expensive treatments. You don't need injections or prescriptions. You just need 5 specific foods. 5 ordinary foods that most people walk past in the grocery store every single week. These aren't exotic superfoods from the Amazon rainforest. They're not rare herbs from Tibet. They're foods you already know. Foods that have been studied extensively. Foods that work. Now, I'm going to walk you through each one, and I need you to pay close attention to number 3, because that's the master switch. That's the food that activates the entire regeneration process. Without it, the other 4 don't work nearly as well. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn could add years of independence to your life. And it starts with the 5th food on the list. Let's start with Greek yogurt. Now, I'm not talking about regular yogurt. There's a massive difference, and most people don't understand it. Regular yogurt has about 6 grams of protein per serving. Greek yogurt has 18 to 20 grams. That's 3 times more. But it's not just about quantity. It's about quality. Greek yogurt is packed with leucine, the single most important amino acid for triggering muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Here's what makes it special. Greek yogurt contains casein protein, which digests slowly. That means it releases amino acids into your bloodstream gradually over several hours. Your muscles get a steady supply of building blocks, not a spike and crash, a sustained release. And there's another benefit. Greek yogurt is fermented. It contains probiotics that improve gut health. And here's something most people miss. Your gut health directly affects how well you absorb protein. If your gut is inflamed or damaged, you can eat all the protein in the world, and your muscles won't get it. Greek yogurt fixes that problem. Studies show that older adults who consume Greek yogurt absorb protein 40% more efficiently than those who don't. 40%. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between muscles that rebuild and muscles that waste away. Let me tell you about Margaret, 70 years old, lives in Arizona. She came to see me because she felt weak all the time. She could barely carry her groceries from the car to her kitchen. We talked about her diet. She was eating plenty of food, but almost no high-quality protein. I told her to start eating Greek yogurt twice a day. 1 serving in the morning with berries, 1 serving in the afternoon as a snack. 6 weeks later, Margaret walked into my office carrying 2 full bags of groceries in one trip. She looked at me and smiled. I feel 20 years younger. Greek yogurt is like an ambulance for aging muscles. It gets there fast. It delivers exactly what you need. And it works. So here's what I want you to do. If you don't have Greek yogurt in your refrigerator right now, Add it to your shopping list today. Not tomorrow. Today, make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Your muscles are waiting. Now let's talk about food number 4. Wild salmon is the second food on your list. And I want to be very clear here. I'm talking about wild-caught salmon, not farm-raised. There's a world of difference in the nutrient profile. Wild salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These aren't just good for your heart. They're essential for reducing muscle inflammation. And inflammation is one of the biggest reasons older adults can't build muscle. Even when they're eating enough protein, when your muscles are inflamed, they can't respond to protein signals. It's like trying to start a car with a corroded battery. The fuel is there, but the engine won't turn over. Omega-3 seconds clean the corrosion. They allow your muscle cells to receive and respond to the amino acids you're consuming, but salmon does something else too. It's rich in vitamin D, which directly activates a protein synthesis pathway called mTOR. This pathway is the master regulator of muscle growth, and most people over 60 are severely deficient in vitamin D. Salmon fixes that. Let me tell you about Robert, 68 years old, retired firefighter in Florida. He started eating wild salmon twice a week, just 2 servings. 4 months later, his grip strength increased by 15%. He could open jars again. He could carry his grandkids. Simple things that had become impossible were suddenly easy again. Omega-3 fatty acids are like oil for your aging engine. They reduce friction. They allow everything to run smoothly. And when your body runs smoothly, it can build muscle instead of breaking it down. Now, I know not everyone loves fish. Some people can't stand the taste, and that's okay. That's why we have other options on this list. But if you can tolerate salmon, even just twice a week, it will make a profound difference. Think about it like this. Every meal is a choice. You can choose foods that tear you down or foods that build you up. Salmon builds you up. But we're just getting started. Food number 3 is where things get really interesting. Let me clear up a myth right now. Eggs don't raise your cholesterol. That outdated idea has been debunked by decades of research. What eggs do is raise your strength. And after 60, that's far more important. Whole eggs are the single most bioavailable source of protein on the planet. That means your body can use nearly 100% of the protein in an egg. Compare that to plant proteins, where your body might only absorb 50 to 60%. Eggs are efficient. They're complete. They're perfect. Each egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein. But more importantly, eggs are rich in leucine, the same amino acid I mentioned with Greek yogurt. Leucine is the trigger. It tells your muscle cells to start building. Without enough leucine, your body can't activate muscle protein synthesis. No matter how much food you eat, eggs also contain choline, a nutrient that improves nerve-muscle communication. As you age, the signals between your nerves and muscles weaken. Choline strengthens those signals. It makes your muscles more responsive, more functional. And here's the bonus. Egg yolks are one of the few natural sources of vitamin D. Remember, vitamin D activates mTOR, the muscle growth pathway. Most people throw away the yolk, thinking they're being healthy. They're making a terrible mistake. The yolk is where the power is. Let me share Dorothy's story. 81 years old. She lives alone in Vermont. A year ago, Dorothy couldn't get out of a chair without someone helping her. She was afraid of falling, afraid of losing her independence. We talked about her diet. She was eating cereal for breakfast, toast, coffee, almost no protein. I told her to eat 3 eggs every morning, scrambled, fried, boiled. It didn't matter. Just 3 whole eggs. Within 2 months, Dorothy was standing up on her own. Within 4 months, she was gardening again. bending down to pull weeds, kneeling in the dirt. She sent me a photo of herself, holding a basket of tomatoes. She looked radiant. Eggs are the golden bricks that rebuild the house of your muscles. Affordable, accessible, powerful. 3 eggs every morning can make you feel a decade younger. But we're not done yet. Food number 2 is the silent hero. The one most people overlook. And it might be the easiest change you can make. Spinach doesn't get enough credit. People think of it as just another green vegetable, something you put in a salad because you're supposed to eat your greens. But spinach is far more powerful than that. Spinach contains a compound called ecdysterone. It's a plant-based steroid that has been shown to improve muscle strength and endurance in older adults, not in a dangerous way. Naturally, safely. Studies show that ecdysterone can increase protein synthesis by up to 20%, but that's not all. Spinach is rich in nitrates. Your body converts nitrates into nitric oxide, which improves blood flow to your muscles. Better blood flow means more nutrients delivered to your muscle cells. More oxygen, more energy. It's like opening up the highways so traffic can move freely. Spinach is also loaded with potassium and magnesium, both of which are critical for muscle contraction and nerve function. And it contains iron, which carries oxygen in your blood. Low iron means fatigued muscles. No matter how much you eat or exercise, think of spinach like this. It's a power plant inside your body. It generates energy. It fuels your muscles. It keeps everything running smoothly. Let me tell you about Frank, 75 years old, lives in Michigan. Frank used to get winded walking to his mailbox. We added a big spinach salad to his lunch every day. Just raw spinach, olive oil, lemon juice, maybe some tomatoes. Simple. Within a month, Frank's energy levels improved. Within 2 months, his leg strength increased by 15%. He started taking walks around his neighborhood again, something he hadn't done in years. Spinach is the feel-good food. It doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you feel better, more alive, more capable. And here's the best part. You don't need much. Just 1 handful of raw spinach per day. Throw it in a smoothie. Make a salad. Sauté it with garlic. It doesn't matter how you eat it. Just eat it. Now we've reached the final food. The most powerful one. And this is the game changer. Whey protein isn't just for bodybuilders. Let me say that again, because this misconception stops too many people from using it. Whey protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's for anyone who wants to live independently, anyone who wants to stay strong, anyone who doesn't want to end up in a nursing home because they're too weak to take care of themselves. Whey protein is the most potent muscle-building food you can consume. Period. It contains the highest concentration of leucine of any protein source. It digests rapidly, flooding your bloodstream with amino acids within 30 minutes. And it triggers muscle protein synthesis more effectively than any other food. Here's what the science shows. Older adults who consume whey protein daily can increase their muscle mass by up to 15% in just 12 weeks. 15%. That's the difference between needing a walker and walking independently, between struggling to stand up and standing with confidence. But whey does something else that most people don't know about. It reduces myostatin, a protein that inhibits muscle growth. As you age, myostatin levels increase, essentially putting a brake on your body's ability to build muscle. Whey protein releases that brake. It tells your body, you're allowed to build again. Whey is also rich in glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that reduces inflammation and supports immune function. Aging muscles are often inflamed and damaged. Glutathione helps repair that damage. It creates an environment where muscle growth can happen. Let me tell you about Tom, 84 years old, former Navy sailor. Tom could barely walk when I first met him. His daughter had to help him get dressed every morning. His muscles were so weak he couldn't lift his arms above his head. We started him on a simple routine: 1 scoop of whey protein every morning, mixed with milk, 25 grams of protein. That's it. 3 months later, Tom walked into my office without assistance. He showed me that he could do 5 push-ups. 5. At 84 years old, his daughter cried when she saw him. She told me, "I got my father back." Whey protein is the lightning bolt that wakes up sleeping muscles. It doesn't whisper. It doesn't nudge. It shouts at your cells and says, "Build, grow, rebuild." You can find whey protein at any grocery store or pharmacy. Mix it with water, milk, or blend it into a smoothie. 1 scoop per day, 20 to 30 grams of protein, preferably in the morning or right after any physical activity, even just a short walk. Here's what I need you to understand. Your edge does not define your strength. Your choices do. You can sit back and let your muscles fade away. Or you can take action. You can feed your body the nutrients it's desperately craving. You can rebuild. The question is, will you? Let's bring it all together now. So here they are. The 5 foods that can rebuild your muscles after 60. Greek yogurt, wild salmon, whole eggs, spinach, whey protein. These aren't magic. They're not miracle cures. They're just the right nutrients, delivered to your body in the right way, at the right time. And when you combine them, something powerful happens. The muscle regeneration pathway activates. Your body starts building again. Your strength returns. Your energy returns. You start feeling like yourself again. Think about it like this. You can continue watching your muscles disappear, day by day, like an abandoned house, slowly crumbling into ruins. Or you can start rebuilding, brick by brick, meal by meal, choice by choice. Every breakfast is an opportunity. Every lunch, every dinner, every snack. You can choose foods that tear you down or foods that build you up. The power is completely in your hands. Here's what I want you to do. Start with just one of these 5 foods today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Maybe it's 3 eggs for breakfast. Maybe it's Greek yogurt as an afternoon snack. Maybe it's a scoop of whey protein in your morning coffee. Just one. Prove to yourself that you can do this. Then add another. And another. Within a few weeks, all 5 foods will be part of your daily routine. And within a few months, you'll notice the difference. You'll feel stronger. You'll move easier. You'll have more energy. People will start asking you what you're doing differently. And you'll smile. Because you'll know the secret. You'll know that your body never stopped being capable of strength. It just needed the right fuel. So let me ask you this. Which of these 5 foods will you start with today? Drop your answer in the comments. Tell me your plan. Commit to it publicly. That's how change happens. Your muscles are waiting for you to give them life again. They're ready. The only question is, are you? Choose to feed. Choose to rebuild. Choose strength. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.